We will be reviewing the area labeled by attribute. Now, to begin with, let's look at a form. This is a very simple form. All it reads here is the primary account holder and the first name and the last name. Our intention is that the screen reader reads this when the form is running on the device of the user. Let's look at the code of this form, the HTML for this form. So the HTML for this form is very simple. All you have is this ID of first name, which has this label of first name, and then an input type of text and a repetition for the last name. So the similar structure, ID equals last name and type equals text. Now, assuming that this were our form, if a screen reader were to read this, this is how an end user would see this.
Edit text, edit text. Demo, edit text.
Now, if you looked at this carefully, or rather if you listened to this carefully, all that the screen reader read was edit text. It did not read this information, primary account holder first name, like so. If you click here,
edit text, edit text, edit text.
It just reads edit text. So the user has no way of knowing that this is the primary account holder last name. So now the question is, how do you change this? What can you do so that this can be made accessible to the screen reader? This is where the area labeled by attribute comes into picture. Area labeled by attribute primarily does two things. It collates the element IDs of labels in objects and establishes relations between objects and their labels. This seems hard to be understood, so let's look at an actual example, after which this will be very easy to be understood. So let's look at the same form. Here you have you want the reader to read primary account holder first name and primary account holder last name when the user clicks on the respective text boxes. So to use aria labeled by here, these are the only changes that you would make. You would, for this input type of text, you would add this extra attribute called aria labeled by, and here this is where the interesting part comes in. You would add the IDs of what you want the reader to read. So if you want the reader to read primary account holder, you would add this ID of this particular div. So when the device reads, it would go to this ID and read the corresponding description here, or read its content. And here is a label, and it's very similar. You would append the second ID, which is first name here, and when the reader reads, it would initially read primary account holder and then the description here for first name. So let's look at this in action.
Window demo tab.
So here now, if you
demo tab, primary account holder first name, edit text.
See, now it read primary account holder first name. Similarly, if you click here,
primary account holder last name, edit text.
So earlier it was only reading out the words edit text, but now it will read the complete sentence, primary account holder first name edit text or primary account holder last name edit text. Let's look at it one more time.
Primary account holder first name, edit text. Primary account holder last name, edit text.
So as you can see, with adding aria labeled by and the IDs of the labels that you want the reader to read, your form will become richer and more accessible to the screen readers, and the screen readers will be able to give better information to the user so that he or she can make more sense of the information. Thank you.